Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As usual, I am your host, Selassie. When I was prepared for that clash between Nigeria and Cameroon, there's some interesting things happening in the front of Ghana football. Kudus Mohammed has apologized after our poor performance at the African Cup of Nations. He released a statement on social media, which I'll read to you today. We're also going to talk about the committee, the 5-member committee that has been put together by the Ghana Football Association. One member of the committee, Ace Ankoma, has declined and asked for certain things to be put in place before such a committee is put together to search for a new Black Stars head coach. And the big one of them all today is why Coach Chris Hughton persisted Richard Ofori starting in the Ghana post in this competition. Also, why Richmond Lamptey as well was never played, and what he was doing in training, probably that the coach did not select him at all. On match days, he was not even on the substitutes bench, despite his services being needed, and the injury to Ashimero and all that. We'll look at all that today. A lot to dive into ahead of the clash between Nigeria and Cameroon. We'll be doing a match vlog as well. But don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Click on that notification bell to get more updates. We'll jump right into it and start off from the camp of, first of all, Kudus Mohammed, who has issued an apology to Ghanaians. This was his very first African Cup of Nations, and it did not live up to the billing. Kudus Mohammed did himself proud, performed well and admirably, but unfortunately it was not enough to get Ghana over the line. Circumstances beyond his control, because he was not on the pitch when Ghana capitulated after helping them get that 2-0 lead, meant that he and his teammates would kiss the tournament goodbye after just 10 days, 14 days if you count it. But this is the statement released by Kudus Mohammed, and it says, "To the heart and soul of Ghana, falling short at my debut AFCON is a hard reality we face together, but as a playing body, we take full responsibility. We deeply regret not meeting your hopes this time. Your enduring spirit is our motivation to strive in commitment in making you proud in the future." So, Kudus Mohammed there. Kudus, we don't blame you so much. You guys, you did your best. You scored your goals. Your team let you down. The systems let you down. We don't blame you so much. We don't blame you. It was a team effort. It did not go according to plan. It happens in the world of sport. Unfortunately, it had to happen to Ghana consecutively, and your first time was not a memorable one. Although on a personal level it was, but most of the time players want a collective win, and that is much more important to most of them. Ace Ankoma, one of the members of the search committee for the new Black Stars head coach, has declined to serve on the committee. He said that, "I have personally called the president to dissolve that committee, halt the search, and instruct his minister in the FA to first render an apology to the people of Ghana, submit technical and management report, their budget, and investigate the causes of the disaster in Abidjan." Good that the lawyer has called for this to happen. And the calls for the FA to issue an apology for such an abysmal performance really shouldn't have been that way. It shouldn't have even been a call. Why are they waiting for people to ask them to apologize? At this point, when an apology comes in, it will not be genuine, or will not be seen as genuine. An apology coming in now will not be seen as genuine because a lot of people had to talk about it before they issued that apology, and that is not good enough in my opinion. I felt that the apology should have come immediately because they've done it 3 consecutive times. AFCON 2021 in Cameroon, World Cup 2022 in Qatar, and then the African Cup of Nations 2024 here in Ivory Coast. We've got out of the group stages. Woeful performances have gotten us out of the group stages at this premature time. And an apology is the only right way to go, in my opinion. I don't know why they are waiting for us to hammer on it. At this point, any apology that comes will not be from their hearts, will not be something they wanted to do. It would be forced. Not that we care, but it will mean that they have not recognized their mistakes in this whole fiasco that has led us to this point. And talking about fiasco, why Coach Chris Hughton persisted with Richard Ofori? Well, according to sports journalist Sadiq Adams, he says that the technical meeting in the lead up to the Ghana's first game, the official report of goalkeeper's trainer on why Richard Ofori was selected as a first choice was that he was a lucky goalkeeper. That was the fundamental basis, despite the goalkeeper not playing regular competitive football at his club side. Now, when a South African journalist asked him why he insisted with Richard Ofori, despite him being a third choice at Orlando Pirates and also Richard Ofori not playing regularly for close to a year, listen clearly to what Coach Chris Hughton said. I want you to hear it for yourself.
These are the things that we always take into consideration as regards the qualities that Richard has. He's a big personality. He is somebody that I would like to think, because I can only speak for a short period of time, Dede here can speak for a longer period of time. I'd like to think that Richard Ofori is somebody that has never let the nation down as regards availability and the job that he has done.
Yeah, he saw that. He said Andre had been in the team for a long time, and Ofori had not let the team down, and he had a lot of personality. Nothing about him being a good goalkeeper who has kept some clean sheets or a player who has done well. Nothing about his abilities, only just about his personality and never letting the country down. Which just goes to show that this report here by Sadiq Adams is accurate, or could be accurate, because he's a lucky goalkeeper. That is why we are playing him. My goodness, could this get any worse for Ghana? Could we be in any worse situation than this? You are choosing a goalkeeper for a tournament like the AFCON because your goalkeeper's trainer, Olele, I'm not going to him yet, but Coach Chris Hughton would finally endorse that decision and say that that is the reason why he chose him. Well, I won't blame Chris Hughton that much, because he will depend on reports from a goalkeeping trainer to help him do the right selection in post. And if probably that is why he's giving, that reason was what he gave Chris Hughton. Chris, I'm sorry, but you really did let us down. He's a lucky goalkeeper. Really? Lucky? Is that what we are going with now? Well, for Richmond Lamptey, many of the players have come out to speak to Sadiq Adams and told him that Richmond Lamptey was astute in training. One of the top trainers when they go for training sessions. And I don't know whose perspective that is. Maybe from the coach's perspective, it might not be the best. But if one or two or more players are saying that, there could be some elements of truth in it. But Richmond Lamptey was one of the players who did his utmost best in training. And most of what I know is that in training, the players that show off the best or do well are mostly selected. But Richmond Lamptey was not even named in any of the match day squads, not even as a substitute. And that is quite disrespectful to a player of such ability. Not to say Richmond Lamptey heading into the team would have been great, but we were short on that department when Majid Ashimere got injured. Why not bring Richmond Lamptey? The truth is that Coach Chris Hughton is a man who thrives on defensive players. He likes his players to be more defensive than offensive. And that is one profile of the manager probably most of us are coming to understand more now that he has left the post. Because I asked him a question about his obsession with the double pivot system against teams that probably that double pivot system might not be necessary. He's obsessed with it. And the funny thing is that for a coach who prides himself in being so astute in defense, he did not get us a lot of clean sheets, to be honest with you. If anything, he was playing players who could not adapt to his system, players who were young, explosive, like to be expressive more, who could not play to his system, in a system where they needed to do more of defending than offensive play. And probably that is why he failed at his job with the Black Stars. At least other teams had the caliber of players he needed to thrive in terms of defensive play, but the Black Stars team and players probably not the best to do that. At a point in time, we had all our defenders that were brought to the AFCON versus Mozambique on the pitch, and we still were conceding silly goals. And the 2 goals we conceded were very, very silly, or to be honest with you. So, Coach Chris Hilton, you have blood on your hands. Richard Olele as well. You have serious major blood on your hands in selecting Ofori over Tisigi and Joseph Wallacott. So that has been it for today, reviewing the performance of the Black Stars. Isan Kuma has left the 5-member committee. Kudus Mohammed has issued an apology, and the reason why Richard Ofori was persisted with at this AFCON. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great weekend.